Hello, everyone. Welcome to In Our Community. My name is Marc Potter, and I'll be your host for this evening. We're speaking to a man I admire very much, Dr. Jha. Dr. Jha, can you tell us a little bit about your biography, and then we'll go into your life? Just tell us a little bit about who you've been in your adult life, and then we'll go into the background.
I am Dr. Vivekanand Jha. I am Indian English poet, editor, and translator. I have altogether authored 17 books. I am founder and chief editors of two international literary journals, Phenomenal Literature and Verbal Art. My poems have been published in more than 200 literary journals around the world. I have written more than 35 research articles on various literary topics. And I'm also an Air Force veteran, and I have served for 20 years to the Indian Air Force. After that, I switched over to higher education department, and at present, I am working as an assistant professor of English in Government Model PG College, Jhabua, Madhya Pradesh, India.
Very wonderful, very wonderful. I've been researching your books, your research papers, and how did you grow up? Whereabouts did you grow up? What influenced your early life? You know, when you were a young child, what influenced you? And tell me where you grew up. What kind of environment?
Yes, I passed my childhood days in the village, and I was totally influenced by my father. He is also a writer. He is in his 90s, and he has also been a professor of English, and I'm totally influenced by him. I followed him to the core.
Okay. Then you next thing you did was go to college, or did you become an Air Force person first?
Yes, I did my 10 plus 2 in college. And after that, I joined the Indian Air Force. After completing the 10 plus 2, I joined the Indian Force, and there works for 20 years. After that, I switch over to higher education department where I am teaching English.
Yeah. So if you were in the Air Force for 20 years, what was that like to be in the Air Force? Were you a pilot or what?
No, I was technician. I was working on different radars.
Okay.
Giving navigational aids to the flying.
By the way, I want to congratulate your country for the recent moon landing.
Thank you, Mark.
Yes, I'm very proud of you, and you did it under budget. So let's talk about some of your books. I really like so many of your books, and I think first I'll talk about the research papers. I've really followed Salman Rushdie's career a little bit, and I'm wondering how did you become so interested in Salman Rushdie? You've written two research papers about his work, right?
Yes.
Tell us about those two papers.
He's a world-class writer, and I have written several papers on his Booker Prizing novels, Midnight Children, and I have edited books on his novels also.
Okay.
I think I have edited 3 books on his works.
Okay. All right. Tell us about those books. What subjects were you studying about him? What conclusions did you draw?
Yes. Actually, his book has been one of the best book that have won Booker Prizing novel. Okay, so it is Midnight Children. Because of this book, I got attracted towards this. And not only his book, I have decided to edit some books on the Booker Prizing novels that have been won by Indians.
Yes.
So there have been four Booker Prize winning novels. That is The God of Small Things by Arundhati Rai, and The White Tiger by Arvind Adiga, and one novel I'm unable to recall, that is by Kiran Desai. Another one is uh, Midnight Children by Salman Rushdie.
Okay. So what have you learned about Salman Rushdie, the way he writes, the way he forms a novel? What have you learned in your research about that?
Yes, I learned about his quality of magical realism. He
Okay.
yes, he experimented this technique to the best of his ability in the novel Midnight Children. He also he also talks about the period of emergency in India in that novel.
So you have written two books about a novelist whose last name is Gosh.
Yes, Amitabh Ghosh. Yes, I
Yes.
I have I have edited two books on his novels.
Is he a good friend of yours, or did you just get
No,
attracted to his writing?
actually, I'm influenced by his way of writings. Okay, he is prolific writers of the novels. He has written some good novels, and among researchers, he is very favorite. Several
Okay.
researchers want to do PhD on his novels. That propelled me to edit some critical books on his novels. So
Can
I
you
went on to
tell?
edit. So I went on to edit two critical anthologies
Yeah.
on his novels.
Tell us more
And
about that. Tell us more about his
and
writing and what track is he surrealist or is he a absurdist or what is he?
no, he also experimented with magical realism, and
Okay.
he has written some historical novels,
Okay.
the Sea trilogy, in which the Sea of Poppies, the River of Smoke, and one more novel is there. So this sea trilogy is based on the opium trade that was going in the China.
Okay. Now,
And other novels that he wrote was the Calcutta Chromosome, the Hungry Triad, and the Shadow Lines, and so
okay.
on.
So you have written two anthologies, right? Dance of the Peacock and Universal Oneness. Is that
Yes,
fair to say? Can you show us those books? And
yes. First, I would like to show you the Dance of the Peacock,
yes.
and you can
Now,
see.
who did you anthologize there? What are the makeup of the
Yes,
people?
it represents 151 poets uh,
Okay,
uh, from India. They are the representative poets, representative contemporary poets of India.
so they're mostly contemporary, not
Yes,
past.
and this belongs those poets also who settled in the USA and other countries, but
Now, do,
they belong to Indian origin.
okay. Do you think your book, Dance of the Peacocks, could be a book that the university students use?
No, no. Actually, it is universally identified, but I will intentionally keep it limited to Indian authors. And
Okay.
for global authors, I decided to bring out another anthologies that I
Yes, the
would like
one
to show you.
Universal Oneness.
Yes, you can see.
I love this book, Universal
Yes.
Oneness. 360 people in that book
360 poems by 360 poets from 60 countries.
from 60 countries. That's right. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes.
really,
Uh,
you got to tell me more about that book. How did you do it? How did you do it?
yes,
60 countries?
yes.
Tell me how long it took to put that book together.
It is my most ambitious project, and it took me to 3 years to complete it.
And how do
Okay.
you fascinate me by what you're able to do. Tell us
Yes,
about what gave you the idea. Go ahead.
yes. I thought that if I did something for Indian English poets, so now it is my responsibility to do for some global poets also. So it propelled me to do something for international poets, and I have decided to give call for submission at global levels. And I desperately tried uh, several months or years to disseminate call for submission for this project. And
So how go ahead.
in the end, response was very encouraging. Response was very good, and it allowed me to select best poets, best contemporary poets all over the world. And interestingly, most of the poets in these anthologies belong to USA only.
Really?
Yes,
Okay. Because they're from
and
60 countries. How did you email people that you already knew, or how did you get to know that many poets?
I try to visit the website of individual. I try to search them on Wikipedia. I
360.
yes, I try to post all for submission on several literary websites.
Okay.
I try to send several mails to the individual poets.
But what
That
are
is
some
how.
of the countries? What are some of the countries, 60 countries? Like uh
Yes.
how many
Uh,
countries in Africa? I'm curious.
yes. In Africa, it was Nigeria, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and several other countries. And
I
in
see.
the West, USA, Canada, they are dominating. In the
Okay.
anthologies, UK,
What about the
Denmark,
Scandinavian countries? Denmark, Finland,
Israel,
Israel.
Belgium,
Okay. Okay.
Italy, several countries are there.
You are to be congratulated. That is
Thank
amazing
you.
book.
Thank you,
Amazing
Mark.
book. Is there an English translation?
No, so far I didn't get any offer
Okay.
for uh, uh, getting it translated into some regional languages or other languages.
You've had two presses so far, a Canadian press, right?
Yes,
Early
yes,
in your life, earlier you had a Canadian press, and now you have a press called Authors Press in India.
yes. This Universal Oneness Anthology has been published by Authors Press India, and the Dance of the Peacock was published by uh, Hidden Brook Press Canada. And not
Okay.
only that, two journals I am founders of and chief editors. So that two journals are also being published by Authors Press. I am thankful to
Okay.
Mr. Sudarshan Kechri. He is the publisher of Authors Press. That
Okay.
he is relentlessly publishing both these journals.
Okay. Now tell us about some of the books that we have not talked about yet. Which books have we not talked about, and which ones are of the ones we not talked about, what is their favorite?
Yes,
Do you have
I have
favorites?
edited some books on the award winners, Sahitya Academy award winners in English. Okay, Sahitya Academy award winners. I would like to repeat this.
Okay.
I have edited 3 books on the novels uh, that have been written by Sahitya Academy winners. Okay, uh, you may be aware that Sahitya Academy is most famous government funded institution in India. So I have decided to edit some books on the novels that has been awarded by Sahitya Academy. So
Okay.
three such books I have edited.
Okay. So those are your future books or what? Are you going to write future books on what subjects?
Yes, I would like to write some books on communication and technology, and some papers and books on cultural studies, some papers and book on research methodology. These are the books I am planning to write.
Okay.
And
Now,
here one famous exam is conducted to become assistant professor. Okay, so
okay.
I have written several examination guide to prepare that examination. That
Yes, I
is,
saw those. Yeah.
yes, that is UGC NET, University Grant Commission examination conducted for national eligibility test.
Yes. Okay. Now, I have a question to ask you about artificial intelligence. There seems to be a lot of artificial intelligence creeping into writing.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Tell us a little bit about that.
and
What is
I
your
don't
opinion?
I don't think it is going to replace the creativity that we practically source.
Okay.
It
And
cannot
I'm
translate.
noticing a lot of magazines they refuse anything that has been made with artificial
No,
intelligence.
no. It cannot be successful without the intervention of human. Okay.
Yeah.
So so
Okay.
so
So
it
would
is
you
we
read? Go ahead.
it is
Go
we
ahead.
who can only um, running it. Okay. So we
Yeah.
cannot expect that it will be doing everything for us.
Okay.
Even
Okay.
if you take help of it, it will not suit your requirements, the context for which you are writing.
Yes.
You need several editing and proofreading.
I agree with you 100%.
Yes,
Um,
it can it cannot
read,
replace our creativity.
yes. Read what some poems from your book, Falter and Fall. You've written a poetry book of your own poetry. Could you read a couple poems for us?
Yes, why not? How could I ignore your
Your
request?
your favorites. You have a great smile, young man.
So this one book you are talking about?
Falter and Fall.
Okay. Yes.
It's on
So
Amazon, I know.
yes, yes, yes. To begin with, I would like to read the title poems only. Okay. Uh, poems title is Falter and Fall. I write with ink of blood to honor and give a touch of eternity to it. But my poems falter and fall in the poetry of world. I pluck words from a flowery and ornate garden, and weave a garland of them to adorn the world, but they trample it under their feet, like they crush the stub of the secrets to prevent it from catching the fire. I discovered the words hidden in the unhaunted recess of the mind and juxtaposed them like an ideal couple of bride and bridegroom at bridal chamber, and turned my poem on new leaf, but they tilt their stony eyes and turn deaf ears to it. I infuse my heart and soul into the poem, thinking it would be the best and the last of my life. But they simply say, since it is the beginning, you would learn by mistakes. So this was my first poem. Do you want
Very beautiful.
I should recite another one?
Yes, sir.
Next poem is title is Hands Heave to Harm and Hamper. Our hands heave to harm and hamper, not to help and heal, not to assist the damsel in distress, instead feel rephrase in molesting mistress, not to weaken the woes of widows, but apt to weaken their only credos, not to stop the rape, but we are top in viewing the naked tape. We have destitution in deleting the prostitution, but we are to the fore in bargaining the whore. Not to prohibit the child labor, but not hesitate to inhibit their favor. Not to curb the poverty, but ready to disturb the poor's liberty. We use a stick to persecute the weak. We use flower to adorn the tower, not to ameliorate law and order, but not afraid to generate chaos and disorder. We have temptation to incur evil reputation, but we have palpitation in getting good inspiration. We praise when our hands raise to tarnish and damage the image of says. We neglect the existing institution, but we accept the amendment of constitution. What a relief if our hands heave to leave harm and hamper, but to help and heal.
Very nice. Thank you. Very wonderful. I want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Mark, for making this so successful.
Yeah, say something to the young students who are just starting out in a life of poetry. What would you say to encourage them?
Yes, on writing poetry, I always favor writing a small poems. Okay, you just try to write them in free verse. You use make optimum use of figures of speech, imagery, metaphors, etc. But try to write small poems, because in this era of technology, internet, smartphones, people have got several sources of entertainment. Okay, so you try to small pieces so that it will attract the attention of your readers. And two things will happen. You will be able to enjoy your writings, and at the same time, you will get attraction of your readers also.
Yes.
That is what I believe. That we should write small poems, shorter poems.
Yeah. I think poetry tells a kind of truth that other things does not give.
Yes,
So,
and
all
it
right.
is also it is
Go ahead.
also a source. It is also a source of lightening your stress. Okay, it save you from falling in the trap of anxiety, depression, several other things. It has in creative work. It has the power that it
Yeah.
save you from falling in the trap of anxiety, mental disorder, depression, stress, several other things.
Yeah.
So it has got some medicinal effect on our side.
Yeah. Good. Okay. All right. Thank you again. I really have been looking forward to this show for a long time.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank KMVT Television for having us broadcast from their studio. I also want to thank Dr. Jaw very much because he's highly. I'm in the poetry world, and I know that he's highly respected around the world. And I want to thank you for being on our show. We're very honored to have you on our show. We're very honored. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say thank you for watching. We really enjoyed your company and talk to you next time. Bye bye.